Hi, I'm making this video to go over an activity I would normally do when I'm here, but I'm not here. So it's up to you guys, but you responsible people that you are. You can handle this without. This is going to help you with a problem that has not yet arisen. It's going to come. That this problem, this happens a bunch. And even with this activity, even with me being here, not being here, watching a video, doing this with a partner, hopefully you guys are kind of watching it together, people are still gonna mess this up. Like there's just nothing I can do about it. But I'm gonna do my darndest. So, let's look at it. I'm gonna click it over. This is a slideshow that I made. That's the trig pilot. That's not what I want. So let's get rid of that. This is what I'm looking for. So let's click through this together. I'll come back and forth. Maybe I'll write some things down. I'll flip over the trig pilot. But a slide to fix a problem that has not yet arrived. Let's take a look at it. Real quick, in this problem, I want you to consider which one of these angles would be considered the angle of depression. I realize I haven't told you what the angle of depression is yet, but I want you to take a guess. Which one would be the angle of depression? Hit pause if you need to. Talk about it with your partner. Like, I think it's this one and why. Right? Learning is social. And then I'm not going to tell you the answer yet. Let's move on. Next, pinky promise. So put your pinky up like you're fancy. Look at your partner and say, we are not going to miss these. Solemnly swear, not going to miss these. Good. One of you is going to be a liar. Next one, here's two definitions. One is called the angle of elevation. The angle of elevation is made from a horizontal line. So think about pointing off to the horizon. That's a horizontal line. And then rotating your arm up. The angle of depression still has a horizontal line. So I'm going to point to the horizon out in front of me. Then I'm going to point down. That would be considered the angle of depression. Doesn't seem too bad, but let's take a look. Here is a picture I found of a small man and a giant. I don't know where I found this, but this angle here is the horizontal line. He's pointing off into the horizon from his eye. And then the angle of elevation is how far that line would have to get rotated up. Angle of elevation. What I want from you guys, I want you to make an example of an angle of depression. So on your notes, hit pause, you and your shoulder partner, and make an angle of depression. Draw it. What would it look like? How would you make it? Look at the definition up here. Okay, this is awkward. I don't know if you did it or not. Hopefully you did. I'll do one of my own. Actually, I'll do one. I got scared. I hit the wrong button. Sorry, I hit stop. Whoa, come back. No, no, no. Let's go to the camera. I want to make one of my own. So to make an angle of depression, I need to have something taller than something else, the giant and the non-giant. I need to draw a horizontal line, and then I need to rotate that horizontal line down. That's going to be an angle of depression from here to here. So I'll connect these. Here's my angle of depression, going down. Okay, seems pretty unassuming. Let's go back to the slideshow. If I can do it without making a mockery. There we go. Dot, 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 dot. Now, here's a picture. For this diagram below, the angle of depression from the tip of the arrow to the dot below, down there, is a 50-degree angle. I want you to make a little sketch of this, draw a triangle, and label that angle correctly. Hit pause, make it happen, check with your partner. All right, so let's see how you did with it. I have the little schematic here drawn for us. We want to make this triangle, and where students go wrong here, in my estimation, doing this for a while, is yes, we need to connect the triangle to the dot, but that's not actually our triangle. The angle of depression isn't on there anywhere. We have to have a horizontal line that rotates down to get our angle of depression. So the angle of depression is actually right there in our picture. I see why people miss it. Just don't miss it. That's the angle of depression. Okay, going back to my little schematic, it's what can we say about the angle of depression from the arrow to the dot compared to the angle of elevation from the dot to the arrow? Why can we say that? Okay, think about it for a second. Check with your shoulder partner, and then let's have a look-see. We'll talk together. Okay, I'm going to try to make this There it is. All right, so what I'm talking about is the angle of depression from one to the other is exactly the same as the angle of elevation going back. Those two angles are the same. Why are they the same? Think back to your proof days of geometry. These are parallel lines, this horizontal line and this horizontal line. Yes, we're assuming the ground is horizontal. And we have a transversal that goes between them. These are called alternate interior angles, so they are in fact the same. When I ask you what is the angle of depression, it's this. If I ask you to use it, oh, it's actually the same as this. So you can use this one to help you solve problems. All right, finishing this up. Here we go. Solving a problem that doesn't yet exist. Back to the original question. Oh man, technology. Oh, there it is. A slide to fix a problem that hasn't yet arrived. The correct answer to which angle in the picture would be considered the angle of depression is D. None of the above. It's not on there. It's up here somewhere. The angle of depression is up here. It's not inside this triangle because it's the wrong triangle. It's the same as angle B, but angle B is the angle of elevation. This angle up here would be the angle of depression. Well done, well done. 6 minutes of our life gone, but we learned something. Deuces.